this apparition responds to me by turning, but as he turned, he was getting down on all fours.
Gets me every time. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Monsters Lounge. I'm Jeni.
And I'm Tressa.
Yes, you are. All day, every day.
Oh, that clock. I am going to smash it.
I love it so much, though. Guys, I'm in a tropical forest someplace. You can hear the bird song.
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes off arbitrarily sometimes. It's fine.
All right.
It's fine.
The top of the hour. Yeah.
Shh. I'm just trying to get you to not mess with my clock. All right. What did we miss on TikTok?
Oh, I was just telling you about this colonic I saw.
Oh, no.
With a 4 foot long...
No.
What? Parasite. I was going to say
no
parasite.
No one needs to hear that story.
Because they showed it was in clear tubes. It was gross.
Moving on.
Clearly a colonic, though. Like, they showed bare legs. Like, just move that camera slightly.
Okay. My distaste for this could not be greater.
I like it. No, I don't.
No,
Jeni,
you really don't.
What's going on with you?
I got real excited because we had the announcement of dire wolves coming back from being re-engineered, but
yes,
but it's not accurate. They just sort of blended ancient DNA with gray wolf DNA. I mean, so it's not the same, but it's kind of the same. I mean, right. I still want one.
Sure.
Just for funsies, I think that'll go well.
I mean, that's what they did in Jurassic. That's what they did in Jurassic Park. It's the same thing. We can say they're back. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I never finished those movies, so everything went well, right?
Yes, it was. They all had a picnic, in a matter of speaking, and everyone went home very rich and happy.
Oh, that's nice. Did somebody help T-Rex eat? Because he's got such tiny.
Oh yeah, hands. A lot of people did.
Oh, that's good. That's nice. Yeah. Well, I like that for them. Yeah. Tressa, we have a very good and exciting show.
I know.
It's a really very good and exciting show, except for I've moved my camera somehow in front of my nose. Is this better?
We don't need to talk about that. Keep going.
I'm pretty sure we do need to talk about it, because otherwise, how do we explain? Listen, we have two wonderful people on this evening, and it is Greg and Kathy Feketik. So I don't do last names. I can't do it. He literally just told me, and I can't do it. It's the worst part. Hopefully I don't offend anyone. I just can't do it. It leaves my brain. I'm so sorry, everyone. Listen, especially because this gentleman is an Air Force veteran, so I've just insulted a veteran, which is great, and a former police officer. He's always been interested in the unknown, from aliens, cryptids, and the spirits. He conducted his first investigation in 1991. So in 2002, fast forward a little bit, Kathy and Greg were married and investigated together after that, joining and then founding paranormal teams, specifically the Tri-C Ghost Hunters. In January 2013 is when that was founded. He and Kathy have been volunteers at the historic Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio, and they are the current organizers for the ParapsyCon held there. Kathy is also a Reiki master and trained in mountain magic.
Neat.
Which I really like. But please help me welcome Greg and Kathy. I asked you about your last names, and then
you did it perfectly.
You said it right.
Did I? Yeah.
Congratulations, Jeni.
Yes.
Yeah, you did really well.
Nailed it. All right. Show's over. We nailed it. Guys, we had the honor of going to last year's ParapsyCon, and I'm in love with that prison. It's just stunning.
Yes,
and the way everybody, the restoration work on it is spectacular. But first, we want to hear a little bit about your investigating history.
Okay.
Greg, I know you've got a couple of books out, and Kathy, what's up with you?
Yeah,
He's nudging me, but I get to
go
go
ahead.
first. So
ladies first.
Actually, I grew up in a haunted house, so that's how I got involved with the paranormal, is because there were things that would happen in the house that my mom would always say was my imagination. However, I knew it wasn't my imagination and that there was more to it. So as the years went on and everything, of course, that's an interest of mine in the background. And when Greg and I met, we realized that we both had the same interest. So we decided, we're going to expand on this a little bit and just do some fun investigating on our own and everything. After investigating on our own a little bit, we decided to join another team, or to join a team, so that we could expand our horizons and learn a whole lot more. And not too long after that, we decided that we were going to form our own team. We've done a lot of investigating together. Greg and I complement each other in our investigation styles, because you had mentioned that I'm a Reiki master. I'm kind of more along the lines of the holistic and spiritual side of it, and Greg is more along the lines of the skeptic and logical side of it. So we kind of balance each other. So that's just a little bit quick Reader's Digest version of my side of it.
I love that so much.
Mm-hmm. I didn't grow up in a haunted house.
Hey, me neither.
You lived in one.
Well, but that was afterwards. But I was like you said, I was interested in everything, read everything I could on Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, UFOs. And when I was on the police department, one of the guys that I worked with said he thought his house was haunted. This was back in 1991. I'm like, ooh, okay, let's set up some cameras and let's do a little investigation. So we did, and we captured something that we couldn't explain. So I was hooked, and since then I've done other officers' homes. And then, we started our team in 2013, and we call ourselves Tri-C Ghost Hunters because we cover the whole state of Ohio. We have about 40 members on our team. We call ourselves Tri-C because we have teams in Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati. And we're just starting a team down in Florida now.
Wow. Okay.
So
that's really cool.
We're expanding, and we're both retired, and we're both busier now than we ever were.
Yeah, it's interesting. Greg mentions the Tri-C and where the C's come into play, and then we talk about Florida. We actually have a team member that moved down to Florida, and she wanted to start another group, and she lives in Cape Coral.
So CC.
No.
We're going to change our name to CCCC.
Or C apostrophe S.
Yeah.
Or
C's,
S apostrophe, whatever.
Quinto C. Something like that.
So you mentioned, Greg, investigating like other officers' homes. Does this, you expect police officers sort of to be very brave, very sort of, fine and calm, cool, collected in the face of, very tangible danger. How does that play out with sort of the untangible? Do you find it's kind of the same attitude, or are they a little bit thrown?
No, a lot of the officers, they'll go up against, robbers and guys with guns all the time. But when it comes to the unknown and ghosts, nope, they would rather go the other way.
Okay.
So
you can't shoot a ghost.
Yeah. And, we've had some, some of the places that we've investigated in at the Ohio State Reformatory, some police officers will come in and we're like, hey, we'll show you around. Nope. That's far enough. So like,
I love that because
I'm good.
That's I love that very much because listen, the fact that they would even believe it, I love that because so many will just blow it off. And then there's the ones that are like, no, No.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm in far enough.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. I can see that. Yeah, you guys, I checked out the website a bunch. You have so many cases that you do and so many that you handle. Are there anything? That's not good grammar. Is there a story or two that really just springs automatically to mind that was, either your favorite or your least favorite, but just kind of pops in there right away?
I kind of have two in mind. One that shows the logical side and one that shows the haunted side, the Parma house. Greg, do you want to talk about that one?
I did not like the Parma house.
All right.
Okay.
Let's hear why.
This was a private residence. They were having a lot of stuff going on. I mean, they would have a rocking chair in the living room that would rock on its own. They would hear people walking upstairs when there was nobody there. They would see shadows down on the basement. Doors would open and close. They would hear voices. That's just a lot of stuff going on.
Too
and
much.
when we were in this house, the energy was like overwhelming. I wanted to run out of the house screaming. I did not like it. I don't know how they could live there. And we had so much personal experiences and activity during this house.
Yeah, we had evidence as well as the personal experiences, the usual EVPs, all kinds of different things.
But my favorite piece of evidence we've ever captured was an EVP from this house.
Really?
and most EVPs are like really soft, and sometimes you can't even make out what's being said.
I never can.
Yeah, we
Never.
captured this one EVP. It was of an older gentleman. And I mean, it wasn't a whisper. It was, all he said was, "How's it going?" Really loud and clear, just like that.
Oh,
And we
I
had
love that.
two investigators in this one bedroom. They did not hear it. And at first I thought it had to be them, but they're talking amongst themselves, and just this older man's voice just, "How's it going?" Like he's standing over their shoulders looking at them. And it was like, I tried to debunk this one like crazy. We went back and I'm standing outside yelling out, up at the window, "Hey, how's it going?" You couldn't hear me. But the cool thing about this EVP is that when we brought it to our client, she said that her grandfather used to always say, "How's it going?" And then we brought it to her mother and her uncle, and they both were able to identify the voice as their deceased father.
No.
And with that in mind, all we did was we went back to the house and we said, "Hey, they know you're here, but you need to stop because you're scaring the crap out of them."
Yeah.
They stopped. That was back in 2007. They still live there and they haven't had another problem since.
Yep.
Oh, wow. He listened.
Yeah.
We listened.
Not like a man.
So that was one of my most memorable ones, and Kathy's. And you talking about the other one here?
Yeah, the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she'll tell you about the other one.
One of the things about our team is we actually go into haunted locations with a logical approach. We're not going in going, "Oh, this place is haunted. We're going to see, and K2 is going to go up and it's demons." That's not how we operate. We go in with a logical mind and try to find out what's going on. So we went into this house and we could all sense that there was something going on. And we realized what it was when we went down in the basement. She had a gas leak. Now, this house was a daycare during the day.
Oh, no.
So when we went down into the basement and we smelled gas, you could actually go like this with your hand, and you know how you could see the ripples?
Yeah.
That's how thick it was. So we went upstairs and we told her, we said, "We think all of your trouble is you have a gas leak." And
Because she did not like the basement.
No.
She did not like going down the basement. Now
Get
we know
out of
why.
the house. It's like
Yeah.
for a whole different reason.
Right, and there was almost like a little bit of a fear cage working because of that too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we called the gas company and
Got
waited
everybody
with her.
out of the house.
We stood outside with her. We waited for the gas company to come. and he came in, and there was a very bad gas leak in the basement, but also to her stove, there was a tiny gas leak. So he shut everything, shut that all down and everything and took care of it. And he did say that they were very lucky to have it. So when we say we're going in to investigate a place, we may find things that have logical reasons that could save your life. So
Absolutely.
that's one of the stories I like. So you got both sides. You got one with haunting, and you have one where you find a logical reason and you still help the family.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently you're just all around helpers. Just going
Try
to
to
need to
be.
be an addendum at the end of the name. Also, if maybe something totally dangerous is happening in your house, call us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think you have faulty wiring? Call us.
We can check. Oh, that is wild. I love that because correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know a lot about EVPs. I'm very vocal about the fact that I do not know.
And will not listen.
I will listen, but I don't hear anything. So it's incredibly unusual to be able to recognize a voice, right?
Correct. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, most of them are like whispers, or
Mhm.
there's just a noise there, and you can't make out what's being said.
Right.
But a lot of them are just like very faint whispers.
Mm.
This one was just like us talking right now.
Mm-hmm. It was a Class A.
That's how this one was. It was just so clear. It was amazing. I mean, I still don't have an explanation.
Well, yes, you do.
Well,
You said it was enough.
Yeah,
No, she got you there.
yeah, she did.
So
Well, then that means that there's life on the other side then.
yeah, problem solved.
Yeah.
We're gonna
There we
find
go.
out one
Yeah,
day.
one day we're all going to learn something.
Right.
Mhm.
So when did you start getting involved with the prison
Well,
or
we
the reformatory?
Yep. Well, we first did our first investigation at the Ohio State Reformatory was back in 2004. So we've been investigating it for like 21 years. And the first time we drove up and we saw it, I fell in love with the building.
It's gorgeous.
It was like
Stunning.
it was like, when I retire, I want to start working here.
Yeah.
And I retired in 2011, and in 2013, both of us started volunteering there.
Nice.
So we just fell in love with the building. It was just such a cool place.
Yeah, and that's the way we began, with the volunteering and everything. And then when did you become? Greg is the lead paranormal investigator there. Was that in 2017?
That's when I started kind of like running the private ghost hunts there, but I became officially the lead in 2019.
When was the first paranormal ghost hunt at the reformatory?
That was in 2000.
Okay.
Okay. Because that place closed in 1990, right?
Correct.
As a functional,
Correct.
semi-functional jail.
That is correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, what I
spurred
was
those? Sorry. What spurred those? Were there just stories floating around and someone's like, we should go check that out?
Well, it's, I mean, even when the prison was open, some of the inmates would have experiences. So,
Really?
and in my experiences too, there's always certain types of buildings, locations that always seem to be active or haunted. And one of those are prisons and jails.
Yeah.
Or, you even have theaters or even schools and universities. It's like places where there's a lot of people that come and go, and there's a lot of energy, a lot of good energy, a lot of bad energy.
Mm-hmm.
Airports too.
There's a lot of bad energy at the prison, a lot of deaths, murders, suicides.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, a lot of people believe that just leaves an imprint.
Well, again, I was looking at some of the information, and I mean, they have a stunning website on it with all sorts of history, which is just so cool. But it was started as like an actual reformatory. Like, it wasn't major crimes. It was people who weren't quite juvenile, but right, like they kind of fit into that class of like, they really were stressing the reform part of it, right?
Let's
Yes,
talk
you know,
about that
yeah.
right after this break.
For those
Right.
of you naysayers, I want you to know how much I appreciate how many of you grabbed a hold of my small package after last week's show. It is out and available. You can get both of my books, The Other Side, A Guide to the Paranormal and Ghost Hunting, and my brand new book, Theater of the Mind, Tales from the Darkness. Both books are out. One, of course, kind of a how-to ghost hunt book, and the other story book of strange supernatural occurrences all around the world. You can get your hand on my small package by just ordering it right off of my website. You can go right to paranormal60.com, scroll down on the front page there, or go to the shop and scroll down and you'll see our book bundle. And I was so humbled by the fact of how many men put their hands on my small package at the end of last week's show and bought it. It was great. It made me feel loved and wanted. I'm not going to lie.
That's our Dave.
Yeah,
Gotta
gotta
love 'em.
love Dave.
All right. So you were talking about the prison and just sort of how it began, and
Mhm. You were talking about it being a reformatory.
Mhm.
It was very successful too. I mean, all of the requirements and everything that they had to go through in order to be reformed were extremely successful. It was a great model. Unfortunately, things changed over the years. Greg, do you want to go over with the types of things they had to do to meet, like the chapel?
Well, yeah, when it was a reformatory, it was for young males ages 15, 16 up to 30. And like you said, it was a reformatory because all they had in the state of Ohio was the boys' school in Lancaster, Ohio, and the Ohio Penitentiary in Columbus. They needed something in between. So they built a reformatory. And the inmates there, they had to do 4 things. They had to go to church, they had to learn a trade, they had to go to school, and they had to learn social skills. And they only used to spend about 8 hours a night sleeping in their cells. The other 16 hours, they were doing all that. So it was more like a school type of thing where they were teaching these young
Offenders.
how to function in society.
Mhm.
that is
It
super,
was
super.
very successful.
That is wildly interesting. Anyway, fast forward, they close it down completely in 1990, and the investigation starts in 2000. What kind of things? Because there's like a lot of spots that are like hot spots, right? In that,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's gigantic. First of all, and again, can't say enough about how pretty it is. The restored parts are just stunning, but
Mhm.
yeah, there's certain hot spots and whatnot, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there's several. Actually, the whole place is haunted, but there are those that are more active than others,
Okay.
like you call hot spots.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you can
I
go
don't know.
anywhere and things can happen.
Oh, wow. Can you talk about some of those spots?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, the whole 3rd floor in the administration portion is active. So that is the front of the building. It looks like a big castle.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the more active areas in the whole prison.
That's surprising to me. It seems like, to me, as someone who knows nothing, it would be the least active, being administration.
You
That's
would think
wild.
that, but again, you're going back with the energy of emotions and things like that. And the front part was the administrative section, and lots of people loved their jobs. But not only that, you had like the warden and the chaplain and so forth that lived in the front of the building. So they have that energy from their families being there and everything. Now, like Greg said, that the whole 3rd floor is a hot spot. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go on that floor. There's all kinds of activity. And we actually have what's called the creepy hallway.
So do we, but
good.
we just live in a normal house.
And that actually goes up to the chapel. So, and then you want to talk about the other hot spots, or like if you,
I just like talking about the 3rd
he
floor.
loves the 3rd floor.
Because I've been investigating since 91. I've only seen 4 apparitions, shadow figures in all those years. And 3 of them were at the Ohio State Reformatory. And the first one, it took me until 2019 before I saw it. And that was up on third floor East Admin.
Mhm.
So, and she saw an apparition right
Yeah.
around the corner from there.
That's where I saw a fantastic apparition. You know the difference between shadow people and apparitions, correct?
Tell us.
Yeah.
Okay, a shadow person is exactly that. It looks like a shadow, but it looks more solid than a shadow. And
Right.
you'll actually see it walking around. That's a shadow figure. An apparition looks like you or me. Sometimes can be a little transparent or have a mist to them, and sometimes they're very solid. So that's the difference between a shadow person and an apparition.
Okay.
Now, what happened to me is I was on the 3rd floor, and I walked around the corner to answer a phone call. And while I was on the phone, I felt like somebody was behind me. Now, there's nobody in the building except for Greg and his group that's off this way, but I felt it over here. He wants to bite me. So I felt something behind me here. So I turned, and when I turned, there was like a 6'2" man standing there. And I said the F-bomb, because that's what you do when you get shocked.
Sure.
Sure.
You know, it was my son, and he's like, what's going on? What's going on? And I go, there's somebody here that isn't here. I got to go. And he knew what I meant. So I hung up the phone. And as this is all playing out, this apparition responds to me by turning. But as he turned, he was getting down on all fours.
Nope.
He got to the hall, or the
hall.
Yeah, the hall there. He got to the hall, and when he was on all four, he turned into like this ball of light that was about the size of a softball. And did you ever see those little things, those electrical things? You touch it and it goes.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. It was like fuzzy like that. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, somebody's playing with me. Somebody threw a ball down here or something. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, that isn't a ball. So I go to walk towards it, and it starts weaving down the hallway, and I could flip on my flashlight, and it disappeared.
Of course.
So that was amazing.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
That sounds like, except for the fact there is something inherently creepy about somebody just getting down on all fours for no apparent reason and starting to move forward.
Don't do that.
You didn't.
And that crawler has been seen on several occasions in that area.
I don't like that it has the name Crawler. I don't like that it's known to do. No.
He's not known as the crawler.
That's what I call him. That's what I call him.
The creepy crawler.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not better. That's not
He's in
better.
the creepy hallway.
That makes it so much nicer. Okay. Did you sense any sort of emotion coming off of it or him?
I did not, because my emotions were responding. So they weren't in a position to be able to take on his. I was kind of a little bit in disbelief, like, oh, somebody's playing with me. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
When you're in that kind of situation, your mind's going to be like, no.
Yeah.
No.
That makes sense.
Logical.
Yes. Especially when you guys are the guys that are going to find a gas leak and say, hey, let's shut this down.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the same question for the shadow person that you saw, Greg, like, was there, I don't know, like, okay, I went to an asylum at one point in time, and someone said that they saw a shadow person kind of enter a room behind me, but I'm just traipsing along looking at the cool old building, you know, I feel nothing. So what is the feeling that you get from something like that, and was there anything?
It's, you know, when I saw mine, it was just right around the corner from where she saw hers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting in there, and there's an open door. It was dark in there except for the red exit sign over the door. And I'm sitting up there by myself, and I see the shadow figure walk up the stairs, take a right, and walk down the hallway toward where she saw her apparition. And I was like, I'm in disbelief. I'm like, oh, it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. Did I really see that? But then right after that, I heard growling coming from the center of the room.
Nope.
And then right after that, I heard church bells coming from the room.
The cavalry.
Now, other people have heard the growling. So there's something, there's this creepy crawler up there, and there's also growling that people hear up there. Mm-hmm. So that's out of the whole prison, that area is the only place that freaks me out when I'm there by myself.
Yeah, I understand why. Yeah.
So it's like sometimes if I gotta go up there by myself, I'll generally, when I do work there by myself, and when my guests leave, I have to go close up. And sometimes I'll do a Facebook Live because then you're not really alone.
Right.
Yes. Right. But then you always got the idiots that will be like, what was that I just saw behind you?
Shush.
It's like, so I don't do Facebook Live anymore. So.
No, that would be terrible. Like, you're not helping people.
Right.
It's always so astounding to me, especially, I mean, Air Force and police officer, and you're freaked out to be someplace. I don't want to go.
Well, that's the only place that freaks me out. But I do go up there by myself. But it's like, now the last time I was there by myself, I was actually staying in the building. And before I went to bed, I decided to do a Facebook Live. So I was up there wandering around and heard something being dragged across the floor, where I saw the shadow figure. It's like there was like something being dragged. It was loud, and people hear stuff being dragged across the floor all the time too.
Tell them the story about it when you had to go up to the third floor and close up the night after those ladies. So one of the questions that people ask me, do you ever have anybody like fleeing the building? Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, we do. And there was this one night, there again, I was the only one working, and I had about, I think I had about 6 guests, and 3 of them stayed in my break room with me. They're like, well, they had enough, they're done. And these other 3 women were wandering around, and we have security cameras all over the place so we can watch the people.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting down there watching them. They're up in that area where I saw the shadow figure. We got cameras up there, and then you see them going down the hall, and then you see them going back. Now there's no sound. You see them going back to that room, and right when they get into that room, you can tell that they screamed, and they just booked it down to the break room. I mean, we followed them. They ran the whole way. They like sprinted. And they got down there, and they're like, we're done. We've had enough. We're out of here. And they all left. They left me alone.
Oh, they like Scooby-Dooed it out of there. Like,
so now I'm like, oh crap, because now I got to go up there by myself and close up. And I have no idea what's going on up there.
Did you ever find out what they were running from?
No, because they took off. They left.
An email would have been nice. What are you doing, ladies?
They just like, we're done. We had enough, and they just took off. Thanks. Now I got to go up there. So I was a little bit nervous going up there.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I'm like, hey guys, I don't know what you did, but it was good. Thank you, and be nice.
This is going to either sell out tickets or none. Thanks.
And the thing, that area, people are growling up there too. He said, I've heard it. You've heard it. Yes. We've had other volunteers that have heard the growling in that same area that I had to go up and close up. And so, yeah.
Do you have any theories on what the growling could be?
It doesn't sound like an animal.
Okay.
It's not anything demonic. We don't have anything like that there.
Elemental, maybe.
It's almost like somebody's trying to scare you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a, it's just like a deep. It's like a deep. Now I take that back. One of our team members who was a volunteer there. She did capture growling on audio,
that's right.
but that was on the second floor.
Huh.
And that's like a, it's just like a, you know, it's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like any form of growling is, I mean, nothing really good comes after growling.
Yeah,
No.
So
Like
yeah.
pretty much ever. Wow, that is insane. So what are some of the other spots that
One of the other spots that is very, very active is the attic, the west attic.
okay.
You want to give just a brief history on the west attic, or should we just go into?
Ooh,
Uh,
history.
Okay.
All right. So the west attic. So the reformatory has 2 cell blocks. It has the east cell block. So if you're looking at the building from the front, you'll see the cell block on the right. That's the east cell block. It's 6 tiers high. There's about 600 cells there. On the west, there's the west cell block. That has 5 tiers with about 350 cells. Now, where the 6th tier should have been, that's an attic.
Okay.
So now they never used it for anything, but in 1930, there was a major fire at the Ohio Penitentiary in Columbus. Some 322 inmates perished in that fire. Well, they had to find other prisons in Ohio to place the other inmates while they rebuilt the penitentiary. And some 200 and some came to the reformatory. Now, 1930, it was still a reformatory.
Mm-hmm.
You know, young, like first-time offenders. The guys coming from the pen, they were your murderers, your rapists, your lifers, your felons, your worst of the worst. And they could not put them with the general population. So their only option was to put them up in the attic. Now, if you look at the attic, there's no cells. All they had was bunk beds lined up and down the walls. Guards would not patrol there because they would have been killed.
Yeah.
So guards used to just lock the door and think of it as a big college dorm room with all these violent offenders, and whatever went on there went on.
That's terrifying.
It is.
Oh wow.
And
Oh
that's
my
why
God.
that area is one of the most active areas.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of energy up there.
Yeah.
A whole lot of energy. And it's most of the time it's not real good energy, but energy nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of things that happen up there. One is a phantom smell, the phantom smell of smoke. And we attribute that to them coming in after being at a fire with the smell of smoke on their clothes and maybe bedding and stuff.
Yeah, you
like
know
that.
how your clothes smell just sitting around camp.
Oh yeah.
It smells like up there. That's the only place in the prison that smells like that.
Yeah, and it's not all the time. It's once in a while. Like you'll go up there and it'll be fine, but then the next day you might go up there and it smells of smoke really
Yeah,
bad.
we'll have guests that will bring up there and they'll be like, why is there smoke smell in here?
Almost like a campfire, but there's no campfire. So that's one of the things is the phantom smells and everything. What people like to do, and I like to do when I go up into the attic, is to go all the way to the back. And now you're in the complete darkness, no lights.
You say you like to do this? This is
with other people.
I will go up there alone.
With other people. Yeah.
That is one place I will
okay. All right. Good. Okay.
Now, going all the way to the back, and we've actually going to have a bunch of chairs where people will go and they will sit in these chairs and just face the doorway, which it's a ways away. How far would you say that is?
It's got to be up the football field long.
Football field long. So you sit all the way back there and you watch the door because there's a little bit of ambient light from the chapel. And what I have witnessed and others have witnessed is seeing a shadow person either come in the room or walk by the doorway. Now, that's part of it, but there's also these lights that people see. And the lights are like, they're orbs, but you see them with the naked eye, and they're all different sizes, and they can be different colors. And sometimes they actually bounce like it looks like somebody walking into the room. And you invite them back to you, and they will come back, and you could actually hear the footsteps. So these are things that I have experienced.
I want to see that.
That's incredible.
Really, really cool. And then, of course, there's the lights. Now, I'm going to tell your story.
Okay, because I'm seeing how
Oh, he's looking up at how long
well,
it
no,
is?
I'm just measuring it.
Okay. So there was one time. Now, Greg doesn't see as much as I do because I am a sensitive, you know, I do energy healing and all that. So I pick up on things a little bit easier than he does. And I was standing in the very back with a group of people, and several of us were saying, see the lights. There's the lights. You know, here's another one. And Greg's, I don't see anything. What are you talking about? There's no lights. And, you know, this and
You guys
that.
are all crazy.
And yeah, he was saying that kind of stuff. So he got a couple pieces of his equipment and walked about halfway down and put his equipment on each piece of ductwork on either side of the attic. And we're calling out the lights, and he's going, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. And all of a sudden, from the chapel, it looked like a shooting star came from the chapel through the attic and hit the piece of equipment right next to him and blew into this gold
flash of light.
And I was like, did you see that one?
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that one. That was a little bit crazy. And then it got immediately ice cold where I was at. And then I did the smart thing and I went back where people were.
yeah.
Well, you know what? It's like I never believed the lights before because people would say that they could see them. And I'm like, I don't see anything. Yeah, I saw it that time.
Yeah, someone was like, do you see me now?
Anymore.
They got you.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I thought he saw the light.
Yeah.
The other thing is, there was, I think it was during incarceration time, some of the OSR volunteers OSR means Ohio State Reformatory, for those that don't know. OSR volunteers brought some of the local police up there.
In uniform.
In uniform.
Can we hear this story right after this break?
Absolutely.
A vampire in Rhode Island?
A UFO crash in Connecticut?
A flying moose in Maine?
A haunted bridge that calls your name?
New England is weird.
Really weird.
Wicked Strange by Jeff Belanger and Frank Grace is your ticket to the bizarre. Ghosts, monsters, urban legends, and roadside oddities you won't believe until you see them.
So pre-order now on Amazon. It drops September 2nd.
Assuming the Black Dog of West Peak doesn't get you first.
Let's get strange.
Wicked Strange. Pre-order your copy now on Amazon.
Oh, all right.
Tell us about these police
please.
officers.
I would like to know this.
The local police went up there with the OSR volunteers to show them the attic. And as they were standing all the way back by where the chairs were in the complete dark, they were getting pelted with stones and stuff. They actually took some pictures of the dirt that was left on their shirts.
Oh
from
my
the stones that
God.
were thrown.
Oh, they weren't having the police
They-
officers. They were like, no, this is our space.
So that's a cool area. And then we have the solitary confinement, which is active.
Mhm.
But it's funny because one of our most active areas was actually the break room.
Really?
Interesting.
It seems like the most active areas are the areas where the people that work there hung out. That's crazy to me.
That's true.
Well, yeah, and the break area is in the prison. It's in the prison. It was originally the original dining hall.
Okay.
And they turned it into like the break room for like when we do private investigations. They got restrooms in there. We serve them
Yeah.
coffee and water and everything. And that was where my original office was. My office was right off that break room. And my office was actually the kitchen where they made stuff for the cafe. So we had a security TV in there. And that's where we would sit when our guests were out investigating. We had crazy stuff going on in there. I mean, there were times where we're sitting in there and all our guests are out. And we would hear screaming. I mean, blood-curdling screams come from there. It was like, holy crap, did you just hear that? Or we would hear voices, people talking. We'd see shadow figures walking into the bathrooms. But one of the craziest things that has ever happened to me there happened a couple of years ago. I still remember the date, May 25th at 10:25 p.m.
Afternoon.
I was in there by myself. I was working on ParapsyCon stuff. I didn't have anybody helping me that night. Now in there is a 2-door huge commercial freezer that was only been in there like a year, 2 years. I mean, it was still like brand new. I think there was only a frozen bag of blueberries and a frozen bag of chicken thighs in there. Other than that, it was all empty. And I'm sitting there working on my computer, my back's to it, and I hear this noise, and I turn around and look, and that door is just bang, bang, just opening and slamming on its own. And they did it like 8 times, just bang, 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 bang. And I'm just sitting there like in awe. It's like, holy crap, because there's a suction on the door, and it's like, if you close it, you can't like open it back up for a little while.
Right.
And that door is just opening and slamming.
I wonder how that affects the warranty.
I had nobody to experience it with. I'm like, nobody's going to believe me.
Right.
So I mean, we don't have any cameras in there. I wasn't investigating. So I'm like, I called her immediately. I'm like, you are not going to believe what just happened.
Oh my God. Did you?
And we had people check it out. They're like, their seals are good. It's like brand new. There's no reason why that door should have been opening and slamming.
Now that break room, is that the place with like the vending machines?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I remember that room. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a funny little room.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in there. But they moved their office now, so we don't know what goes on there. I haven't heard any stories since we've moved.
Did you ever put cameras in there?
There is a camera. No, not in the kitchen. Now the woman who runs the cafe, she'll go down there and make sandwiches and stuff for the cafe. She has had experiences down there, but nothing with the door opening and closing. And she'll have experiences during the daytime.
Oh, that is wild. Tell us a little bit about the ParapsyCon. First of all, that's got to be such an enormous endeavor. Like it's beautifully done. It's so cool. Like all the tables, all the people are all kind of like in front of the speakers at any rate, like are in front of actual cells, which is wild and super
really
cool.
Neat.
Yeah, it's super neat. But tell us about that, like how long it's been going on, that you've been involved with it, and
well, we're very fortunate with the ParapsyCon too, because I was in the corporate world as an event planner and also an executive assistant. So I have like 25 years of corporate event planning, and then Greg did event planning at the police department.
I did our city open house at the police department.
So that
second nature for you guys.
And we have that knowledge. And one day Greg was just like, "Hey, let's do a convention." I'm like, "Oh,
yeah,
that's a lot of work."
That was back in 2016. I'm like, we were driving to a location in Indiana, and I'm like, I really want to do like a convention conference type of thing. So we talked about that, and then we did our first one in 2017. We managed a old abandoned hospital, which was extremely active. So we did our event there for 2 years, 2017 and then 2018, and then we kind of like shut down everything there because stuff was getting too hazardous in the hospital. So then in 2019 we moved it up to the Ohio State Reformatory, and then we changed the name to ParapsyCon, which just means Paranormal and Psychic Convention. And we've been doing it since 2019 there. And it's grown ever since.
It's really cool with the ParapsyCon too. We have a lot of different types of vendors. We also have speakers. We also have celebrities, people from television shows, etc. There's a wide variety of things to be able to see there. But the thing about the ParapsyCon is we don't charge for entry into the convention. However, you do have to pay your admission into OSR. So, and we actually have a little bit of a discount during our weekend. Like you can get weekend pass for, $50, right?
$50.
Yeah. So you get a little bit of a discount. So if you're going to go to OSR, you want to see it, you might as well do it that weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because you get to see the whole building, all of the museums in there, plus you get ParapsyCon.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have, we got food trucks and we have cars on display outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, the coffee at that cafe was fantastic.
Seriously, though.
Delicious coffee.
Oh, it's so good.
So
Every day I'm there, I get some.
Yeah, she does. And one thing about our event too is we also do a food drive and a pet supply drive. And our company, Black Shamrock Events, are the organizers of it, and Tri-C Ghost Hunters are the hosts. We make no money off this.
Yeah.
All the money that is made is donated back to the reformatory.
Oh wow!
Now, remember, Jeni, you were saying the restoration that took place or has taken place in the building. You were impressed with you said that
So much.
at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
That's where the money goes. It goes into keeping the building beautiful, its restoration and everything. So that's our part of giving back to OSR.
Yeah.
So I mean, we just love the building.
And like I said, it's so cool because I mean, I love conventions, but a lot of them are convention centers or hotels.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I mean, we do it where we can inside the building.
Yeah.
And it is just so cool, especially the vendors in front of the cell blocks itself there.
And sometimes in the cell blocks.
Yeah. Yes, we saw that.
We have psychics that will, talk to their guests inside the cells.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that
then-
makes so much sense too.
And sometimes
yeah.
two ridiculous podcast hosts will bring a speaker and dance,
Sounds
Uh,
fun.
It's a totally different experience than going
Yeah.
to a con at, say, a hotel or a convention
yeah.
center. It's so much more real and so much more fun. You just get like the energy of it. I really loved
Yeah.
it.
Too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Not because we organize it. I really do love it. And
Yeah.
one of the things I can say too is everybody that goes there, they almost feel like it's a family reunion. All of the vendors and the celebs and the speakers and everybody, it's like an annual thing that they come to, and it's like a family reunion. Everybody loves each other and everybody gets along.
Yeah.
Everybody helps one another. It's just a good feeling.
And what's cool about it too, we've got a number of vendors that have been with us since 2017.
Oh, that's cool. I like
And
that a
one
lot.
thing that we never have to do, we never have to go out and search for vendors because
Oh,
we
I'm
go
sure.
out all our vendor tables by like September.
Yeah.
And right now we have a vendor wait list of over 80 vendors waiting to get in.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. You
So-
guys
Now-
get on board quick.
Yeah. Now, do you guys do, because, I was not paying attention whatsoever last year, but the investigations and things that kind of run during the conference, what do you guys do? What kind of stuff can people check out?
Well, we've got something new this year. We got a lot of really cool things, but something new this year, we have escape rooms at OSR.
Oh
And
no.
we actually, Greg actually talked to a couple of the celebrities and said, hey, how would you like to do like this donation type of challenge with the escape rooms? And we said, I don't want to say raffle tickets. What do we call it? Chances. You can purchase chances to investigate or to go into the escape room with the celebrities. And it's
Okay.
only $10. It's only $10 a ticket.
Yeah.
So you pay $10 and choose which celebrities.
We have 3 groups of celebrities.
Oh, I
So,
love it so much.
when you purchase your ticket, you pick which ones that you want to do. And if you win, you, along with a guest, can go do the escape room with the celebrities that you chose.
Mm-hmm.
So you
That's
get to
very
spend like
fun.
an hour in there with them, kind of like almost on a one basis.
And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a great addition to the ParapsyCon.
Mhm.
Now, the other thing we have is the kickoff party.
The kickoff party.
You want to go to discuss that a little
So
bit?
that is the Friday night prior to the start of the event.
Mhm.
It's held at a regular event center because there's no place where we could do it inside the prison. And you can go mingle with, I think we have about 22 special guests this year, and so you can go mingle with them. There's a cash bar, but there's free non-alcoholic drinks. We have a lot of appetizers. We have a DJ, and then for the last hour of the event, we have a celebrity auction where you can go bid on personal stuff that the celebrities are bringing in that you can't buy at their tables.
Mhm.
So, and then again, all that money goes back to the reformatory too. So that's a fun event. And then that Saturday night, we do a celebrity ghost hunt.
Okay.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot all about that, but yeah.
So we do that too, and people really enjoy that. In fact, I had a private hunt on Sunday night, and the organizers of that hunt came to the celebrity ghost hunt at last year's ParapsyCon because I asked them, I said, so have you guys ever investigated here before? And they were like, yeah, we were here for the celebrity ghost hunt for ParapsyCon. And they were like, oh my God, that was so much fun. We had a blast. And I'm like, well, I organized it. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna get all excited. So yeah, people really enjoy those events.
Yeah, it's a great con.
Mhm.
It's so
It
much,
really
and it
is.
does really feel like I didn't know anyone really. Well, I knew some
Mhm.
people, but it still felt like a reunion. Like everyone is so friendly and great there. It's a great time.
Yeah.
Everyone go check it out. What's the website where they can buy tickets to the party and the events and stuff?
Okay, all you got to do is go to ParapsyCon. That's ParapsyCon.com, and anything you want to know about the event is there. We got a FAQ section, we got a ticket section, we got the speaker section, tell you about the speakers, about all the special guests. We have all the vendors there with links to their websites and Facebook pages. We got photos from past events. There's a lot of testimonials in there from past events, and it's just everything you need to know is in there.
Love it.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Well,
and then
go ahead.
where can they find you, and where can they find info on the prison or on the reformatory?
You can do the reformatory.
Okay, I'm the paranormal program manager for OSR.
She runs the paranormal program. She's my boss there.
And he's a great employee.
Well,
Aw.
she's just saying that now because when we get along, she goes, you need to shape up.
So if you have any questions regarding the reformatory, the paranormal side of it, you can contact me at Kathy, that's with a K, Kathy at mrps.org.
And the website for the reformatory is mrps.org.
Perfect.
And Tri-C Ghost Centers is tcghohio.org.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Listen, we're at the end of the show.
Mhm.
Thank you guys so much for
Thank
being
you
here.
so
Oh, yeah,
much.
pleasure.
Yeah,
I
and
would
hang
like
out for a second after the show just so we can say thank you again.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like personally a pat on the back for not bringing up Dave's tainted M&Ms, and we had to like deal with that last year. But otherwise,
I'm blocking
everybody
that
else, thanks
Blocking
for
that out.
joining us, and contact us, email us, buy our merch. We love you. Goodbye. Thank you.